What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I hope you're having a great day, because, well, I really am not. Gotta love Wisconsin. About getting a foot of snow today. As you can see, it just keeps snowing. Woke up this morning, couldn't get into work because it kept snowing. It's been snowing since 3 a.m. and it hasn't stopped. But, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be bass fishing anytime soon, let alone leaving my house. So yeah, at least we'll talk about fishing, I guess, today. Welcome back to this episode of Inspirational Outdoors. I'm Jake McHugh, and today we're going to be going over flipping jig trailers. So this is part 2 in this series, and part 1, if you haven't watched it yet, I recommend that you do so, because in that video I go over the jigs that I use and why I use them. So I will link that video up here in this corner so that it will get you up to speed. So with that all out of the way, we'll get right into the video. And this video is all about flipping jig trailers. They all come in different shapes and sizes, and I'm going to go over what I prefer. So let's get right into it. So the flipping jig trailer that I prefer and use the most is the Zoom Super Chunk and the Super Chunk Junior. They come in 2 different sizes. Here's the Chunk, here's the Junior Chunk. And this is a really great trailer because it's helps give the bait kind of a slower fall, and it's kind of it's a do nothing kind of trailer. And for some reason I catch a lot of fish this way, and all it does is as it falls in the water, it just kind of floats down, and I feel like it gives it a slightly slower fall. I think it helps get the fish a little bit more time to just make an instinct reaction to it, and I prefer this a lot over all the other different types of trailers that you can get. When it comes to deciding what size trailer to use on a certain day, it really depends on what the fish want. Sometimes they like that smaller profile of the junior size. Sometimes they like the profile of the normal standard chunk size. So I let the fish tell me, and there's really no correlation as to what trailer size I use to what jig head size I use. So the 5/8 I can use sometimes the junior size to it and get a smaller profile with a faster fall, and other times I'll use the full chunk size on the 3/8 size jig to get a slower fall. So let's take a quick look here at my flipping jig trailer box, and I have 5 colors here, and they are all kind of alike, but yet there's a little difference to them that helps a lot when you're out fishing, in my opinion. So I have green pumpkin, just a standard green pumpkin. This works great on clear water and you want a natural looking profile. That's a great color. We got green pumpkin blue. This is great for clear the stained water. If you got a little blue tint, this works great. I like green pumpkin red for clear the stained water as well, but this tends to shine a little bit more when you have darker color water, or if the water starts to get like a coffee color to it. I like the red flake better. Sapphire Blue is a great stained to muddy color water trailer to use. I like it because it gives off a lot of flash. So if I need something that gives off a lot of flash, I use that one. And then there's just a standard black, and this is great for dirty water, but yet you don't want a flashy approach. So like on a cloudy day, I prefer the straight black. On sunnier days, I'd kind of go towards the Sapphire Blue because it has a lot of flash. Now, one thing to note when it comes to matching your trailer to your jig is that you don't have to match the color technically. A lot of people would only want to use a black or Sapphire Blue on a black and blue jig, and you don't have to. You can use any of these, in my opinion. A lot of times, even during the summer or the springtime, excuse me, I will use a green pumpkin trailer on a black and blue jig, and I find that works really well for me, especially in you got clear water, and in the springtime when the craws are a little bit got a bluish tint to them. A black and blue jig with a green pumpkin trailer is money for me. So next we're going to go over how I rig these trailers onto a jig. And with the standard size chunk, it's pretty simple. All you got to do here is you just make sure the skirt's all out of the way. I push this weed guard back, I take the chunk trailer like this right here, put it through the top of it, all the way through until that hook point comes out. And you just slide it through completely. You just keep sliding it down until it gets to the base of the jig. Got your good weed guard or bait keeper there. And you just pop that on and it's good to go. That's it. That's all that's to it. And you got a great jig and trailer combo right there, just like that. Now with the junior size, I rig it a little bit differently. And I think most people, when it comes to chunk trailers, they like to just skin hook them like this here. And that works great. But I find that a lot of times I lose my trailers because the fish will come up and just bite the tails off and rip the whole thing off. So I find a little bit better way that helps keep the trailers on and last a little bit longer. And it's a little bit more difficult to rig at first, but basically what you do is you just start off like you would the other way with threading it on completely. And I go in about halfway from the top. I find middle right there. I go through. And once I get about to the bend, I know that I'm about halfway through this trailer. And I'll just go straight out of the top of the chunk now. And what that does here is I find that if I just sit it right there like that, it sits on there a lot nicer. And it doesn't slide side to side like it would if you had it just hanging right here and you skin hooked it like most people do. And it gives you the same profile, but yet it helps the bait stay on better and longer. And I find that I save a lot of plastic that way. And that's another great profile right there. Just a little bit smaller one. And this is great for catching numbers and numbers of fish. Alright, so there is some other trailers that I do use during certain times. I don't use them as often as the standard chunk trailer, but I still use them and I'll mention them here. So to start off, there's two different kinds that I use, and I categorize them as like the flappy trailers. The reason I call these like flappy trailers is because they got arms or appendages that flap in the water as they fall. And I like to use these in deeper water or when the fish are really active. If the fish are active, they like that movement, they go after it like crazy. Deeper water, I like it because I feel like the fish have a little bit more time to see that bait fall in the water column before it gets to them, and that added movement I feel like just helps my chances of getting more strikes. The next kind of trailer that I use is just like your standard beaver bait. This is the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. This is my favorite kind of beaver to use. And I like this when I'm fishing like really dirty water and I want a bigger profile, something that will move a lot of water. So that's when I really only use this, but this is a great trailer as well. So basically that's it though for different types of trailers that I use other than the chunk. So let's say you're first just starting out jig fishing or you're on a tight budget and you don't want to spend a lot of cash. What I recommend when it comes to trailers and jigs is to get as many trailers as that you can in different colors, and then only get like 2 or 3 solid colors in jigs. Reason being is if you have 5 different trailer colors and 3 different jigs, you have 15 different color combinations. And just remember that the colors don't have to match perfectly. You don't need a blue or a black trailer for a black and blue jig. You don't need a green pumpkin type trailer for a green pumpkin candy type jig. So mix and match, it doesn't have to match perfectly. And I feel like that money-wise, your money goes further when you buy more trailers because they're cheaper and you get a better value for them because you get how many per pack. So that's just my advice when it comes to starting out on picking jigs and jig trailers. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this video here. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you got something from it. Make sure you share this video with your friends, help them catch more fish if you want them to catch more fish. Otherwise, keep it to yourself, I understand. So that's gonna do it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, because part 3 is gonna be coming out shortly. And in that part 3, which is gonna be the final video of this series, I'm gonna go over the rods, the reels, and the line that I use when I'm jig fishing or flipping jigs and stuff like that. So be prepared for that, and as always, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.